Welcome back to another life-enhancing episode of World of Faceting Machines. Today we're looking at the Mercropon machine from central Maine. This story picks up after our previous two episodes where we looked at the earliest faceting machines in America. Loren Merrill was a tourmaline miner as well as the first American faceting machine manufacturer. His 1888 pedal-powered machine used fixed angles and a rotational index gear in order to help the cutter cut the perfect stone. In Portland, Maine in the 1910s, William Cross improved Merrill's original design by making it smaller, stronger, and adding more features such as a cheater, key dops, and a table adapter. In the late 1920s, a new machine started to be developed by a team of cutters and engineers including Loren Merrill and William Cross. This new machine would take ideas from both of the previous machines but add more features to make it a machine worthy of being called a modern American faceting machine. This machine was to be called the Mercropon after the three major designers, Merrill, Cross, and engineer Harold Rippon. Today we're looking at two iterations of the Mercropon, the prototype version that was used by William Cross until his death in 1931, and the mass production version that was manufactured for Stanley Prim by Harold Rippon in the late 1940s. The Mercropon machine was Maine's last contribution to the history of American faceting machines, and is the only one of the three that we could truly call a modern faceting machine. The early Merrill and Cross machines both used index gears and angle protractors, which were revolutionary for the history of faceting technology, but both of them were lacking the crucial third control, which was height adjustment. The Mercropon has a large knob on top that allows the entire machine to move up and down, allowing the angle setting to remain the same for both large and small stones. This crucial feature is missing on the previous Maine machines, but is something that we would expect to find on any faceting machine being made today. Aside from the height control, we can find a similar angle control to the previous machines. There is a large protractor on top of the machine and the cutter can move the stop arm to his ideal facet angle. The arm stops the mass from moving past the desired angle. This quadrant and stop arm design is unique to Maine, and we don't see this type of design on any American machines made after the 1940s. For the index gear, the trend follows the previous Maine machines, using a specific index gear for each design, instead of the more universal 64 or 96 index gears that we see being used in today's faceting machines. This meant that the cutter needed a separate index gear for each design that he wanted to cut. One thing we can learn from William Cross's surviving setup is that he used two machines for commercial gem cutting. One machine was for cutting and one was for polishing. He has separate laps, separate splash guards, and separate tooling for both of these machines, which was probably meant to reduce the chance of cross-contamination of the cutting grits. The final version of the machine is the 1940s machine that engineer Harold Rippon made for Stanley Prim to sell in his famous Maine gem shop, Prim's of West Paris. This production machine was based on the prototype that survives in Cross Jewelers and was improved slightly and then mass-produced. It was the first machine that was actually given the name Mercropon, as we can see boldly printed on the side of the protractor. Prim's production and sale of the Mercropon, a modern faceting machine, significantly promoted local cutting. At least 5 of these antique machines still survive today, 4 of them at the Maine Mineral and Gem Museum and 1 in the collection of Dennis Creaser at his Paris, Maine jewelry shop, Creaser Jewelers. This concludes our journey into the history of early American faceting machines in Maine. Thanks for watching and come back next time for another adventure through the world of faceting machines.